Good morning, Internet, and welcome to Home, a unique horror adventure by Benjamin Rivers. So, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do today. And I was looking through Steam, and part of me went, I've been collecting video games to the point where I have, over 400 games in my Steam library, and I said, fuck it, let's check the Steam library from games that I haven't played and check them from year to year. This is one of those games. This is a game that I watched Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, a few other YouTubers play, and I never got around to playing it myself, but I ended up getting it in a Humble Bundle in 2017 and installing it, or buying it and getting it registered in Steam, but I never got around to playing it. Anyway, enough blabbing about. Let's get into it. Game. Hello. Let's get into it. Okay, now I can get into it. Your game will be saved automatically at certain points. However, we recommend that you put aside an hour and a half to complete Home in a single sitting. Bring it on. Turn up the sound, turn off the lights. Okay, hold on a second, I gotta turn out the lights. This is probably a good time to play this game anyway, considering the fact that it's there's hardly any light out anymore at this point. All I remembered at that point was finding myself alone. Oh, my head, where was I? It was so dark. There was something by my feet. A flashlight. Cool. Oh god, it requires you to use the... You can't use AWSDE, you actually have to use the arrow keys. Fine. How do I enter? Enter. 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 Oh, it's right click? It's a right click? That house. Where was I? There was a body lying on the floor. Who was it? Who did you kill? Fuck off, cat. Maybe I don't want to go downstairs yet. Go through this door. The desk had a computer and some papers on it. And a single drawer. I didn't want to snoop, but did I open the drawer? Yeah. Receipts, pens, a blurry photo, looked like a store of some kind. Why did it look so familiar? Do you have amnesia, guy? Blood on the wall. It smelled fresh and sickening. I realized there was blood on my shoes and pants. Oh man, I had to get out of there. Sure about that? I mean, because as far as I'm concerned, I think you're the one who did the murdering. And then, got a concussion or something. I noticed that I limped as I moved down the stairs. How did I hurt my leg? I wondered. All I could really recall was coming home and seeing Rachel. I was upset. She looked afraid. I shook my head and tried to clear it. I knew I should head downstairs to try to find a way out. The shelf was full of books on local history and hunting. Seemed like the owner of the house really knew the area. I don't want to go downstairs again just yet. A thin gray mouse was stuck in a trap. It looked frantic but exhausted. Did I free it? Yeah, why not? It's not like that'll come and bite me in the ass. A collection of rusty tools. These looked like they'd seen a lot of use. They were caked in damp-smelling dirt. Why weren't they in the shed? I don't know. Not you. I found a picture of a couple. It looked like it had been moved a lot. Seems like there's a switch behind it. Do I push the switch? Yes. It depressed smoothly into the wall. I heard a faraway click somewhere. Okay. Wait. I was gonna say, can I interact with this thing? But no, apparently not. Only the tools. Shame. Alright, so we've gone to the left, but what's in the right side? Bookshelf. Plant. Door. It's a big house. An old dining table covered in dirty dishes for 2 people. There were dozens of beer cans and other liquor bottles amongst the dishes. The smell was turning my stomach. Black and white photo looked like the man upstairs and his wife. I guess there was no reason for me to keep this. Did I take it? Yeah, why not? I slipped the photo into my pocket. Maybe this would help me find some answers. Alright, now we'll go downstairs. It looked like hell. My clothes were dirty and torn, and there was mud caked all over my shoes. The bathroom was spotless. Everything had been wiped to a sheen. I wondered if it was the man's wife who did the cleaning on her, or him. There was a photo development tray laying on the floor. Some leftover negatives were stuck out, but they were pretty blurry. I thought I saw what looked like treetops. Okay. Is that all that was all that was in the bathroom? There's literally nothing else? Alright. The front door was blocked by a pile of furniture. I knew I had to find another way out. Okay. Man, you sure are good at pointing out the obvious. The door was taped up and seemed to be stuck. By the smell, I guess it led to the kitchen. The switch on the wall appeared to have unlocked the door. The box looked heavy, but there were marks on the floor. It had obviously been moved before. Maybe I'd found a way out. I must have moved it, right? Yeah. I heaved the box forward, and it finally gave. Go down. There was a ladder going underground where the box was. A dank smell arose from it. Did I climb the ladder? Yeah. I looked again at the photo I found in the house. The couple looked distant, like they didn't want to be in the same picture. I wondered where the wife was. My leg was in terrible shape, but I had to get out. Footprints in the dirt looked like more than one kind, and a lot of traffic. Places all over were marked on the old map of town. The industrial area near the river, various houses, and even the water tower near the old rail station. Newspaper clippings from local paper. They were all about murders in town over the last few years. Wait. There were photos. Photos of our house. What the hell was that about? Maybe I should have looked around more and tried to find some kind of information. You want to find more information, guy? Do you want to go back up? Oh, those boxes would have allowed me to climb up the ladder again, but I didn't want to go back up there. Not with that body and all that blood. I checked every room. What information were we missing? Work table covered in papers, dirt, and a handgun. I hate guns. Did I take it? Yeah, just in case. Tucked a small handgun into my pocket. Its weight was somehow reassuring. It was dark down there, and all the air smelled stale and putrid. Couldn't believe what I saw. What was this place? Desk looked old and was caked with grime. On it was a stack of old faded paper covered with what looked like names. They were scratched out and illegible. Notes were written beside them in faded blue ink. I could only make out a few letters. He, Iv, E, Hel, Af, O, Ro. None of it made any sense to me. Yeah, it didn't make any sense to me either, guy. Honestly. And you've got a limp, but you move pretty fast for a guy with a messed up leg. Looked like there were bones half dug into the ground, and the remains looked old. Faded clothes that stuck up amongst the dirt looked familiar. They looked like the clothes that woman was wearing in the photo I found. Was this the man's wife? I guess so, but this is just the wife room, if I'm gonna be honest with you. At least I guess. It's the wife room. Because that's all I was in there. Some kind of homemade rack, slung together with poorly cut wood and rope. It was caked with old blood. Somebody didn't actually use that, did they? Crudely made shelves. They looked like they were holding cans of some kind of corrosive. The labels were worn and slick, but I could still see the warnings. Looked like a cage. It was small, but there was something coating the bottom. Something wet. Some kind of old boxes. They looked like they were years old. Wait a minute. These boxes had old clothes in them. Clothes I remembered throwing out before Rachel and I moved into town. What the hell were they doing here? Hate that noise. Oh, bats. Fuck off, bats. You get the fuck out of here. You and your annoying noises and squeaks. I remember noticing the broken ladder. I had to be careful. How about we just not go down the broken ladder just yet? Check this door. There was rope hanging there. I wasn't sure how sturdy it was. Did I take it? Yeah. Maybe the rope would make that broken ladder easier to descend. Hey, skeleton. I had the rope now. There must have been a use for it around here somewhere. Well, yeah. Probably over here. The rope I found would have let me climb down the broken ladder safely. Did I climb down? Yeah. I could hear a faint hum, and the smell from before started to get worse. Wait, I shall always go left first. Nope, no door. Alright, never mind, I'm going. A bunch of old newspapers. Wheat pasted together. A message had been hastily smeared on it. Keep out, danger due to cave-in. Oh, that's loud in my ears. I could still feel a faint impression of the rope I had slid down as I pressed against the heavy metal door. It was probably for the best that I hadn't jumped. The ache in my leg was bad enough as it was. If I could have, though, I would have run straight out of those awful tunnels. Who would keep such a place? At least I thought I had found the old handgun. It seemed to work, and from the smell of it, it had been used already. I kept the gun in my pocket. It seemed familiar. It seemed a familiar weight in there. Nice. There was dirt on the ground. It looked wet, and there was grass smeared within it. Muddy ground, water. Muddy ground, water. I could hear a faint trickling sound like water. What was that? I don't know. Take a look. Kitchen knife covered in drying blood. Thinking about it made me sick. Did I take the knife? Yeah. Just slap all the weapons in your... I slipped the knife into my boot since the gun in my pocket. Did I really need all this? You never know. You might need to go up against an army. I don't know what I'm going up against. Who the fuck slammed the door? Who do you think you are? I wasn't sure what those valves were for. Did I turn it anyway? Not yet, not yet. I hear a sawing noise. I'm gonna look for whatever these valves do. Or look for a note or something on whatever these valves do before I do anything with the valves. There's one. Wasn't sure, but I thought it was some kind of regulator. I had no idea how it worked. And we'll go into this door. This door was locked. There was a musty smell coming from inside. Then we'll go back out here and we'll go up the ladder, because I haven't done anything with that ladder yet. Distinguishing it was a mess of filthy garbage bags. There were rips and tears in most of the bags. What looked like an old videotape was sticking out of it. Did I take the tape? Yeah. Wasn't sure what I had hoped to discover within the tape, but I took it anyway. Dude, at this point, the name of the game is cram your pockets full as much shit as you possibly can. Because I don't know what's going to be important and what's not going to be important. I don't know if this game has one ending or multiple endings. I just decided I was going to play it out of the blue. Keep on going. Keep on taking things. I keep hearing a sawing noise, and I don't want to mess with these valves until I know exactly how to fully operate them. Whatever needs to be turned on and turned off. So I guess I'll go check the exit. Of course that opens. There was a rusty ladder sunk into the water, which smelled disgusting. I knew I couldn't climb down. Maybe I could find a way to drain the putrid water. That's what I'm saying. That has to be what those pipes are for. Hello? Arrow? Oh, there we go. So wait, now can I go into the one area? And explain what the regulator does? Through the dust, I could see handprints from previous use. Probably from whoever worked these sewers. Through the dust, I could see the handprints from... Yeah. I don't care that you can do that. I just care that I'm like... I thought I could turn this water valve to shut off its flow. Should I turn it? Yeah. Through the dust, yada yada yada. No, nothing changed. Okay. And I guess I'm gonna be shutting off all these valves then. Wish I had instructions, but I'm gonna do it anyway. To shut off its flow. Did I turn it? Yes. Valve was still active. Did I turn it again? Yes. Oh, maybe each of them requires a different amount of turning? That's what that sawing sound was that I thought it was. Yes. Still active. Did I turn it again? Yes. Valve was still active. Did I turn it again? Yes. Thought I could turn this. Yes. We're gonna turn it 4 times. Looked like I turned off the water. Oh, never mind then. Turned off the water valve through the... Yep. Alright, cool. Awesome. And then I'll just go this way. Do I go back in here and use the regulator to drain the water? Through the dust, I could see handprints from previous use, probably from whoever worked in the sewers. Oh. Nope, same shit. Alright. I guess I'm going to the ladder room. Door was locked. There was a musty smell coming from inside. Yep, ladder room it is. And down I go. First things first, looked like the water drained out of that grate in the wall. Don't want to go in that? There was a small metal key left floating in the shallow pool of rancid water. Did I take it? Yep. Hello? Game? Did I take it? Yes. Pocketed the small key. It was so odd-shaped. I had no idea what it might open. Okay. What if I went back here? Tried to open the door with it. Door was locked. There was a musty smell from inside. Nope, can't open it. Moving on. Back down the ladder. Back through this door. Or now through this door. Safety poster had definitely seen better days. How old was this facility? Door was locked. I could see a faint light within. Not gonna even try the key? This door opens. I found another dead body. A sewer worker. By the wounds all over his face and body, I figured he'd been stabbed repeatedly. There was a key ring sticking out of the man's pocket. Did I take it? Yep. I thought about the knife I had found with some disgust as I carefully picked the keys from his pocket. I was almost worried he was going to grab me. Cool. Time to go check other rooms. Backtracking! Backtracking! Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play. I used the key ring to unlock the door. Exactly. The shelf full of security tapes was strictly organized and covered in dust. It looked like the tape I found was the one that was missing from the shelf. Okay, there was a dusty VCR on the security desk. Wondering what was on the VHS tape I found. Did I play the tape? Yes. The video showed a man right there in the sewers. God, this is loud. The tape looked fuzzy and stretched, like somebody had tampered with it. It looked like there could have been two men. Cool. Anything else? I couldn't stand to watch that video again, okay? Whatever you say, guy. But we still have some backtracking! There's something up here. Another door that is locked. And I am determined to open it with that key ring. Key ring time! I tried a bunch of the keys on the key ring I had found on that sewer worker, and one of them seemed to fit. A faded receipt was half trampled on the floor. It was from the local train station. It was for 2 tickets. I didn't know what use it could be, but did I keep the receipt? Yeah. I neatly folded the soiled receipt and slipped it into my front pocket. Are we solving a murder? A bunch of murders? The wall was littered with dozens of old faded papers. Whoever did this was obsessed with some local murders. According to some of the clippings, bodies had been found in ravines, in the forest, and in one case, dumped in the back of an abandoned truck. I couldn't be sure, but I thought some of these same articles had also been pasted up back in those tunnels. A collection of stale liquor bottles covered the floor. Cool, I'm gonna get out of here, because it sounds very Geigery in here, and I hate it. Fuck you! I'm going away. Up here. I think this is where the dead body was, so I'm going this way. I guess up the ladder. Would I need that gun or that knife before the end? Both weighed me down and aggravated my leg as I climbed the old ladder. The thought of that videotape still gave me chills. Who was that? Didn't want to be... Who was it that didn't want to be seen? Was it the same person that had hid all those clippings away in that locked room? Suddenly, the awful smell of that sewer gave way to the pine-scented blast of fresh air. Neat. The lid had fallen on the entrance, and it was stuck shut. I don't want to go back down there anyway. I just thought it was a new area. Oh, great. A ladder all the way up there to an ancient water tower. The ladder needed to be extended. Did I extend the ladder? You know what? Yeah, why not? Popped the latch and brought the ladder down. I didn't think you could reach that, but I'm cool with that. Let's go up. Fuck off, bats! Patch of smeared dirt and grass was... Oh, sorry. In the patch of smeared dirt and grass, there was a beat-up old wallet. I thought it was mine. Did I take it? Yes. I slid the filthy wallet into my back pocket. I noticed it didn't contain any gun permit. In fact, it didn't contain any cards or ID of any kind. I thought I should recover my credit card and driver's license at least. From the railing, I could see over the woods and down the entrance to the sewers. Had I come through there before? If I did, someone definitely could have seen me. Alright, back down again. Nope. Two doors. Two doors. I tried the little key I had fished out of the murky puddle in the sewers. It fit. I heaved open the rusty door. Hell yes! Secrets! Secret, secret, I want a secret. The wind was picking up a bit. The night air had become strangely chilly. Weird building. The old train station. The old train station. The old train station was as quiet as a tomb. The only sound was that of the increasing wind buffeting the decrepit structure. Cool. Anything I can have in here? Any more things I can cram in my pockets? I have a collection going. An old ticket booth that looked fairly ruined inside. Inside the ticket window, there were sheets of paper and... Wait, were these train receipts? I thought the receipt I had picked up might match these, but of course not. This station had been closed for years. Tickets must have been for the newer station that opened up on the other side of town, after this one was abandoned. However, I noticed a series of fresher-looking paper covered in tiny notes, scribbles, and diagrams. The escape route. Looked like someone had been leafing through the old ledgers looking for something. A name, perhaps. Anything else? Looked like something... Nope, same thing. I got an Achievo for that, so what about that? Okay, I went the left route. That's the exit. I'm not going out the exit just yet. Is there a door on this side? Yes, there is. An old map encased in glass hung on the wall. It was the train routes connected to the old station. As I looked at it, it seemed familiar. Of course, the map I found in the tunnels had a similar locations marked, and the notes I found on the other man's bookshelf. His notes mentioned the water tower and even the train yard. What was he doing coming back here? Another door. And leads back outside. But to what? The old train was ripped open and hanging from shreds of metal, as well as broken fence, was dark stained patch of cloth. It looked very synthetic, like some kind of outerwear. Inside the train shell, I could see a few faint impacts, like wounds. They could have been bullet marks. Was somebody shot here? The ground was well worn, though I couldn't really make anything out. I then realized I was touching the gun I had found as I thought. Okay, so we've got a little bit more information. So now we can leave the train station and move forward. Back out the door. Creep on the floor. Everybody there with a dinosaur. This must have been the entrance to the forest that was mentioned on the map I had seen. Whoever was poking around in those tunnels underneath that man's house had just scribbled notes on this place, but I couldn't make them out. Here, the sign pointed out various campsites and walking paths within the woods. It mentioned a river and maybe a washroom, but the rest was too faded to see clearly. What if I don't want to go in that hole? What if I don't want to go in that hole? Oh, fuck. Okay, I guess I gotta pick a hole. Pick a hole! Nothing here. How about to the left? Trampled into the dirt and grass was a plastic card of some kind. I brushed it off and was surprised to see it was my credit card. Wasn't sure if it was still usable, but it was mine. Did you take the... Yeah, take the credit card back. Credit card... I pocketed the credit card. Hopefully I could find my driver's license, too. Through the fence, I could see a dilapidated outbuilding. I wondered if I could find my way around. Okay. There, Jesus, you're making me walk around in circles. What do we have here? Campsite. The cheap dome tent slept the cheap dome tent slept 2 people. I shone my flashlight inside and could see some bedrolls, 2 backpacks, and a cooler. 2 folding camping chairs were on the ground. One was knocked over. There was a couple of cans of beer spilled on the ground. There was a fire pit there. It still was a bit warm, and a few embers still burned at the bottom. Let's go in this hole. The camp hole. No, 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 no. Oh, I found the outbuilding. Oh, it's the bathroom. The grimy sink had a small patch in it that looked almost clean. So somebody had used it recently. A musty wooden plank propped up the stall door. It didn't really seem useful, but did I bother to take it? Yeah, you did. Wasn't sure why, but I took the plank. Because we're looking to cram everything that we can into our pockets. You never know what might be useful in this situation, considering the fact that you don't know anything about yourself. Let's go in that hole. The sign was the same as the first one I had seen. This must have been the exit to the other side of the woods. That's not useful to me. I don't want to leave the woods yet. I want to find my my ID card. Or anything else I can cram into my pockets. Let's go this way. I hear shuffling in the woods. There were some personal effects shoved back into the rock. Wait, there was a notebook. Do I read it? Inside the cheap dollar store notebook was a page after page of worn names and lists. None of it made much sense. The newest page contained several names. Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Daphne, Holly, Rose, and Rachel. Rachel? Her name was the last one on the list. It had a mark beside it in blue ink. The names Daphne and Olivia had been crossed out in the same blue ink. Cheryl, Heather, and Rose had also been crossed out, but these marks looked older and more faded. Son of a bitch. We have ourselves an old-fashioned murderer. Murderer. Okay, let's go back to the first group of holes. that were first located at the front entrance of the park. Or the other entrance to the park. Okay, that will be here. So I want to go here. Dirty old picnic table sat lonely amongst the trees. It had carvings and marks from years of previous campers. As I tried to read some of the names and the marks, I idly thumbed the knife I had found. If I wanted to, I could have carved something onto that table. Did I? Yeah, why not? A few crude strokes, I etched a simple design into the wood. R plus H. I felt like a teenager desecrating a table. The plank I found was long enough to form a crude bridge. I wasn't sure if it would hold. Go for it. We made it, boy. Two bodies, two young women, were half dug into the hasty, shallow grave between the trees. The younger one was still face up, her dead eyes gleaming against my flashlight. They deserved better than that. Did I clean up the gravesite? You fucking know you did. I tried to cover them up a bit more, and I closed the younger woman's eyes. I fashioned a crude marker. I wasn't sure why, but I felt I had to do something. Cool. Alright. The girls weren't carrying IDs, so I couldn't determine their names. I'd only hoped that whoever had done this done it quickly. I wondered now if they had a phone or something at their campsite. Maybe I could call for help. No, because I found their campsite and they didn't have anything. Did I cross back over the other shore? Yep. Piece together what happened in the woods. Okay, cool. I did that. Thank you, Chivo. Alright, now let's go back to the other side. And then this one. And then this one? Yeah, this is the other side. Cool. Can I leave? Can I leave? I had finally found the exit. Once I left, I knew I never wanted to return there. Yep. The forest started to thin out a bit, and through the trees I could make out parts of the town beyond and the first hints of light. The mysteries of that forest were behind me, but I could still feel them on my neck like a warm breath. Those girls I had found, someone had taken them from their campsite and had murdered them. Was it the same person who had left that odd notebook? I was even more eager to get somewhere safe and find a way to reach Rachel. Just gonna keep doing our nice slow stroll into the darkness. As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I had worked as a machinist for all those years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago. Now times were better then. 3 years ago. The times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. Or maybe you should go head over there and see if there's a murderer waiting for you. I found the body of a security guard just doing his job, no doubt. His face was covered with blood from some kind of head wound. I wondered, was this flashlight his? God, I hope not. Dug into the ground was cracked old watch. First my wallet, now this. Did I retrieve my watch? The watch was useless, but I put it on my wrist anyway. Collect your memories, fool. I wish I could remember. Why is all my stuff missing? Collect your memories, fool. Back through this door. That's loud. One of the lockers hung open. Its contents were tossed around like someone had been looking for something. The door was locked shut. There was a little electronic box under the handle. A sign that was pasted to the front said danger, closed for repairs. There was a large power box with 5 lights on it. Cables burst out of the box, snacking off to each other's parts of the factory. That was snacking, not snaking. The metal was starting to wear. The cobwebs had collected on the corners. The box wasn't receiving any power. Then we need to work on that. Door was locked tight. Seemed to be connected to the power box beside it. Cool! Guess I'm going upstairs. Every part of this plant smelled old and rotted. I had noticed an old bulletin board on the wall. The board contained yellow clippings of newspaper cartoons and notices. There were notes to and from guys that had worked here. One of them was to Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. Okay. Fucking Norman. Power panel looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Yep. The power panel still wasn't working. Did I try it again? Yep. That fixed it. The open locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and old boots. There was a photo of a woman inside, but it was scratched out. The face was unrecognizable. Power panel looked like it was shut off. Did I push the... Yep. Cool, cool. It was shut tight. There was a rusty-looking card slot on the side. I need my ID. I would assume. I'd find my ID in here, then. Now let's go to the other side of this place before we go upstairs. Our old break table, the layer of dust and grime, only made seeing this sting more. Start from left and work your way to the right. Boxers! This was Norman's locker. The door was dented, like someone punched it. I don't remember him doing that when we worked here. Another panel that I had hoped could help me get the power back on. Did I push the switch? Yep. Nice. A utility shelf crammed with mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take that? Yep. Cram it in your pocket. Notice it wasn't as dusty as the rest of the tools on the shelf. The locker was a complete mess. Hidden in the bottom, though, was a magnetic card. Did I take that? Yep. I slapped the key card into my pocket. Another panel I had hoped to get me power back on. Yep. Hit it again. Hit it again. There we go. Hit it. Yep. Hit it again. There we go. Cool. Alright, so go back to the right-hand side. Gotta do some backtracking now that I have this magnetic key card. I struck it with the hammer. The old wooden boards came apart easily. After I had removed the planks, I left the hammer on the floor. What is inside door number 4? This was my locker there in the factory. It stank of booze. There was a picture of Rachel on the inside. It looked like it had been torn up. I thought I had taken that picture home when the factory closed. There was a mess of empty booze bottles. I wonder if that man in the house had something to do with this. He sure had a lot of alcohol at his place. Interesting. Fascinating. Almost crucial. Almost. Now tell me, Mr. Bond, does this magnetic key card open this door regardless of if there's power? The key card I found seemed like it would pass through the reader. Did I use the key card? Yep. Slid the card through the old reader and turned the handle. cool, it worked with that power. What do we have here? There was some kind of ventilation hatch here. It looked like I could jump to the room below. My leg hurt enough as it was, but I couldn't see another option. No, not yet. I was too chicken to jump down. Broken ladder before, why would I do this now? There had to be another way. There is another way. The door had somehow locked itself again. There was no key card slot on this side. Oh, are you kidding me? Fuck. Alright, fine. Wait. No, not yet, not yet, not yet. I need to see. I need to see if there's another way down. Light. Fuck, I gotta jump down. Okay, I might have messed up. Ventilation hatch in there. I could jump down the room below. My leg hurt enough as is, but I couldn't see any other option. Yep, jump. My leg hurt like hell. Great. Literally, great. There was a crumpled up letter on the floor. It had been scratched out heavily. It's hard to make out. Try to read the letter? Yes. Most of the letter was violently scratched out with what looked to be a ballpoint pen. All I could make out was need to... Just don't drinking need Norman. Who's Norman writing to? I stepped out of the factory, glad to be rid of its smell, of its memories. I couldn't stop thinking about the room with the bottles in it. Was the guard I found outside really drinking up there? What about Norman? And who rooted through all those lockers? I couldn't tell where I was looking as I looked around, but I figured I needed to get to the road for my bearings. Maybe Norman could help. The store wasn't that far from the turnoff to the factory, if I remembered correctly. Shit, I didn't fully get everything from there, because I thought that door would let me back through. So I didn't discover all the mysteries of the factory, which is annoying. Who the fuck is following me? Because I know somebody's following me. Moving on. Check the dumpster. Check the dumpster. The garbage bin was a disgusting mess of rotten food and slick black bags. I saw a thin greenish corner poking out from one of the bags. It was my driver's license. It looked damaged. Did I take it back? You fucking damn right. Cleaned off the card the best I could. It looked pretty beat up. I was amazed to have found my credit card and now this. I tucked the card into my wallet next to my credit card. Sounded like it was going to start raining again. Lovely. I'd entered Norman's place. This was the back of the store he had ran. It was oddly quiet except for the faint sound of a television. Don't you go up them stairs yet. We got searching to do. The entrance to the front of the store was locked from the inside. It looked like I couldn't just pop it open. There was a bit of blood on the keyhole. That's not a good sign. Oh, I hate the creaking noises. Hey, look, more blood. Norman, you here, buddy? You here, buddy? There's the TV. TV still flickered some indecipherable channel. Hi, Norman. Oh no, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Norman, my coworker, and one of the few friends I had in this town lay dead beside the armchair. His face and shirt were covered in blood. It looked like he had been shot trying to get up. His eyes were still wide with shock. Norman, you deserve better than this. Did I close his eyes? Yes. I wasn't sure if I wanted to give him peace or if I just couldn't stand to think anymore about what was going on. Quickly, I closed Norman's eyes. Cool. Nice. What now? I guess this was Norman's kitchen table. He kept it clean enough, but there were some water rings from 2 cups still here in the wood. The kitchen trash bin smelled fresh. I didn't dig through it, did I? Yes, you did. I found a hairpin amongst the rotting food and trash and pocketed it. And there's nothing else here. Guess I'll keep looking around then. Sorry, Norman. Poor bastard. That's all you can say to him? He was your friend. What was this? It looked like a pull chain hanging from the ceiling. I wonder where it led. Did I pull the chain? Yep. I gave the chain a single tug. The simple folding ladder attached popped down. What do we have here? A bunch of nooses. There was a large cardboard box that hadn't been sealed. Should I open it? Inside the old cardboard box was a pile of clothes, photos, and even shoes. And as I looked closer, I realized they were Rachel's. What were you doing here, Rachel? Were you responsible for the poor Norman downstairs? I'm more curious what you have to play in all of this. That's a tiny TV. Downstairs we go. Okay. So that was off to the left. Is there anything off to the right? Of course there is. I wasn't entirely surprised to find that this was here. It was one of Rachel's old fall coats. I always wondered what happened to it. How long had it been here? Inside the cabinet was a small but impressive collection of hunting rifles, shotguns, and even a few items I didn't think were legal here. One of those slots in the rack was empty. The gun I had found seemed to match the others there. If the handgun was Norman's, what the hell was he doing with it? The gun would fit here. Did I place it back in the cabinet? Yep. Carefully pushed the piece back in place. Felt great burden had been lifted. Discard a deadly item. Close call. Thank you, Chivo. Guess I gotta pick this door open. I used the hairpin to pick the lock. The hairpin snapped in half, so I threw it away. The general store was small, but it was clean. It had the usual things: postcards, snacks, magazines, canned goods. I never went there much. Rachel usually stopped by after work if we needed anything. The register was mostly empty, and it had a fat stack of travel magazines sat beside it. The icebox seemed to be unplugged. It must have been off for a while. Most of its contents were half melted. There were various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist traps. One of the postcards showed an old black and white photo of the water tower. It looked to be in much better shape back then. It had been weeks since I'd last seen Norman. Finding him that way still left me cold. Thinking of him slumped against that chair only cemented my reassurance in getting rid of that gun. It looked like someone had taken that piece from his store, but why? Why was it in those tunnels? As I stepped outside, I recalled the dusty old box of clothes in Norman's attic. I felt like I had only discovered more questions, no answers, but I was close to home. It was time to find out the truth. It was locked. This wasn't the right gate. Okay. You don't want to explore some more? I want to explore some more. The gate was locked tight. It wasn't my house. This is your house. Okay. So now what? The gate was locked. It wasn't my house. The neighborhood's local post box. A letter was sticking out of it as if someone hadn't pushed it in all the way. I knew it wasn't right, but did I look at the letter? The envelope was addressed to Norman. There was no return address, but the handwriting looked familiar. I took a deep breath and tore it open the packaging. Norman, I'm sending this to you in a letter because I'm afraid to tell you this in person. What we did, well, it was wrong. My husband isn't an easy man to be with, but he is my husband and your friend. I need some time to sort this out. Away from you both. I'm going away for a while. I'm going to tell him. Norman, so you don't think you can hold that against me? Maybe we'll work it out. I'm not sure I even want to, but he deserves at least that much. Goodbye. So Rachel cheated on me with Norman. Had the wrong gate. This one was locked. Rachel cheated on me with Norman. I shot Norman in the head, but that doesn't explain a bunch of other things. I had entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes. I was expectant, but also afraid. Alright, home stretch, quite literally. I held my breath as I approached our back door. I was terrified to step inside. Step inside. Walk this way. The house was painfully quiet. The only sound was my own breathing, ragged and strained. I flicked the light switch on by the door. The power was off. I don't know, man. That's a really loud wind, or ambiance. I remembered having breakfast here only on this very table. Was that yesterday or sometime before? Check the doors. Walk this way. The door to the basement was locked. Where had I put the damn key? There was a small pile of mail on the floor in the front of the mail slot. How long had I been away? Why hadn't Rachel picked this up? Most of the contents were bills. There was a credit card bill. Did I open it? I ripped the bill open and read it. To my surprise, it said something about canceling my credit card due to non-payment. What the hell? The front door was locked from the inside. I couldn't go out through. I couldn't go out, though I needed to see if Rachel was here. Okay, cool. So, just upstairs then. I need to find the key to the basement. Not gonna go that way yet. Let's check from right to left this time. Door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. Door stuck shut. There's an old-fashioned keyhole. Okay, so there's more locked doors. I need answers, damn it! I need answers. Why did you fashion a puzzle after murdering people? I had found the last missing piece of my wallet, the old photo of Rachel, and it stared back. I stared back at me, reminding me of better times. It didn't make me feel terribly comfortable. Did I keep it anyway? Yeah. I replaced the photo in my wallet, feeling like I got part of my life back. Still, the image made me uneasy. Recovered pieces of your wallet. Our television I had purchased before I knew I was going to lose my job. I felt pretty guilty about it afterwards, but by then it was too late. Okay, so I guess I gotta go upstairs now. Up the third floor. How common is it to have a three-story building? God damn, I can't talk today. How common is it to have a three-story building these days? Our hallway mirror had been smashed into pieces. The pieces scattered around the floor. Man, there's a lot of doors up here. We'll start from right to left. My laptop had been left on, and it had a tiny bit of power left. On the screen was a website about the old water tower. There was a key in the top drawer of my desk. Did I take it? Yeah. Pocketed the key. Okay, so I've got something. I think that's to the door downstairs. Let's check here. Our sink, which needed to be replaced, one of the taps always stuck, but I hadn't gotten around to fixing it yet. We were lucky enough to get our house with one of those wonderful old claw-footed bathtubs. Nothing about the toilet? Nothing about the spooky dookies once taken? How could you? I wanted to know. The world wants to know about your toilet. The books were half mine, half Rachel's. Hey now that I looked at it more closely, it looked like the man that The man in the house, that house that had some of the same books as I did. My wife's, Rachel's suitcase was sitting on the bed. It was closed, but I had a feeling that what was in it. Inside Rachel's suitcase were a few days' worth of clothes, some personal effects, and a train ticket. As I stared at the ticket, I could feel myself flush with anger and resentment. The date and time matched the old receipt I found. But then, if that was the old receipt, what was with all the bottles and shit? We need more answers, man. The door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. Yeah, you have that key, don't you? Or do you need to go into the basement first? I guess basement first. I unlocked the basement door. There were old Christmas decorations in the box. The garbage bags were stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There was a dirty old key here. Yep, take the key. I know where that goes. I took the key and tried to remember what it unlocked. I know what it unlocks. There were old clothes, tools, and other things obviously hadn't thrown out yet. Is there anything else here? I had put up this divider wall last summer so we could create a separate room in the basement. I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was stuck and the drywall was poorly installed. I might have been able to break through it if I had found something heavy enough. So we need something heavy. Way too much junk. So I need something heavy to destroy the dividing wall. Okay, that's fine. Head upstairs. The grimy key I had found in the basement unlocked the door. It looked like the entire room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did somebody break in here? There was an old crowbar on the floor. Did I need to take the crowbar? Yep. Lifted the heavy crowbar. I appreciated its weight. Nothing else in here? Nope, not at all. Looks like we're going to smash open the basement. I'm gonna wreck it. I'm gonna wreck it. Smash! Did I break through the wall with the crowbar? Yep. With a heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall. I smashed a hole large enough to step through. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught in my throat. This was it. Was Rachel down here? Was she okay? Who knows? I don't. Don't look. A filthy-looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful and made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile to see what lay within, but I knew what I had to. But I knew I had to. I had come this far. After all this searching, after all I had seen, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel? Let's say yes. Because I think you did. I think you killed her. Oh no, my hands trembled as I pulled back the layers of cloth. There at the center, underneath all the dirt and mess, was my beloved Rachel. Her arms were bruised all over and slashes repeatedly. Her clothes were ripped and torn. Even through all that sickening blood, it was obvious she had been stabbed to death. The knife I had carried all this way suddenly seemed like a poison. What had happened to Rachel? Who did this to you? I thought about all I had seen and wondered if any of it could help me figure out who had done this. When I couldn't stay there any longer, I stepped away on shaky legs and made my way back upstairs. Reluctantly, exhausted from my journey, I could no longer resist the urge to close my eyes. Realize your worst fears. Thank you, Chivo. Maybe I would use some of Rachel's travel books and find some place to go. It was my wallet with its contents intact. Either I dropped that stuff or somebody else did. Maybe I was sleepwalking again, or maybe somebody stole it from me. Norman's store, that forest, the water tower. Was I at those places before? I mean, it's where we found all of your stuff. Norman's store had the ID. The forest had your credit card. The water tower had... No. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The forest had one card. The tower had another card. But Norman's store didn't. Was I at those places before? Norman's store, the forest, and the water tower. No. No, there was no way that was me out there. I woke up in that house. Remember, I was off. I wasn't off in any damn forest. No, you weren't in the forest. I don't think. It feels weird to think about, but no, you weren't there yet. This was an old photo. That other man and his wife, I assumed. I found it in the house. I recalled those faded remains found deep underneath the house. What had he done there? Well, what did I think? Was that man involved in this whole mess somehow? Yes, definitely. Those tunnels, the odd tools in his house, and the remains of his wife. He wasn't innocent, that's for sure. Within the few broken pieces that remained of the mirror, I could see my face had grown pale and weak. Couldn't bear to look at it again. It was like I didn't actually expect the reflection. I felt empty and drained. It was the key card I found in the factory, one that allowed me to slip through that door. It seemed to me that it was probably Norman's. But if that was true, what was he doing back at the plant? Did I think that Norman was going back to the factory? Yes. It must have been him. He must have been using the old locker room. The laptop had finally run out of power. Shit. I think I made the wrong choice when deciding what it had, like where he had been. Because I think he actually was, he just wasn't saying it in the right order. Because I think he killed his wife, then Norman, after finding out they had cheated on him. But I do also think that the man wasn't innocent. It was a letter I'd taken from the post box. Rachel, were you really having an affair with Norman? But why? I didn't think things were that bad. In the letter, Rachel seemed concerned. She almost seemed worried of what Norman might do. Did he do that to Rachel? No. Norman may have betrayed me, but I didn't think he was capable of that. I hated him. I hated him so much, but I couldn't blame him for what happened to my wife. I think you did it. Because it keeps mentioning heavy drinking, and your locker also smelled of booze. I couldn't go back down, not until I had gone over everything. I needed to make sure I was perfectly clear. Mail still sat there, heaped on the floor. How long had Rachel been in the basement? Couldn't leave, not until I had thought about this some more. I needed answers. Okay, then where's the rest of the answers, man? What do you need to contemplate now? Where? My old office safe sat on the floor. Used the digital passcode on the lock. Did I try to open it? Yes. What was the damn code? damn, I couldn't remember. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I leafed through the notebook I had taken from the forest. In it were the names that had been written down. Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Daphne, Holly, Rose, and Rachel. Those poor girls, were they victims of the same person who had killed Rachel? I wondered what happened to the other names on that list. One scratched out. They were the same as, were they the same as the ones in the wet tunnels? Yeah, I think he was a murderer. Maybe he didn't kill her. I think he was a murderer and you went and chased him down. But you also killed your best friend because he cheated on your... cheated with your wife. Is there anything else in this room? The TV. From now on, I'd have no one to get angry with for stupid things like buying this TV. Okay. But, now what? Go upstairs. Let's check the bathroom. The reflection in that grimy glass was only a shadow and a whisper. I still loved that old time charm of the claw-footed bathtub, though. Seemed like it could, like cold comfort then. Spooky dooky, creepy peepy. No, nothing. Keep wandering around until I figure out all the answers. God damn it! Everything needs to be crystal clear, he said. But he doesn't want to go to the basement to check down there, he said. Is there anything else left in here? That was decided. No matter what, I needed some kind of escape. I don't see anything else up here. I've done all I can do. I've done all I can do. I think. I'm not seeing anything on the ceiling, so it's not like I can do anything with that. Can we piece this together now, guy? We've seen everything. The only thing we haven't seen yet seemed like I had seen all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back in the basement. Cool. Maybe there wouldn't be anything for me to find, but I had to take one last look. You need to figure out your safe combination, guy. If I was guilty, I could take this to a warm and safe place and do something about it. Did I pick up the knife? You know what? Yeah, it's been with me this long. Kept it firmly in my hand. It's been with us this long. Now that I stood there, I realized I couldn't go back into that room again. I had already seen too much. Boo! Wuss. You wuss puss. I knew I needed to escape that nightmare. But what about the knife I still carried? I wondered, even if I left, would it really be over? So did I leave that house forever? No. Peered at the knife as I turned away. A warm place, I had thought. Where could that be? A warm place, you say? A warm place, you say? No more dinners, no more chit-chat over breakfast, at least not for us. Leave here. I must have locked the door. There was no reason to return to the backyard anyway. Why would you lock the back door? You're the only one here. So he wants to leave the knife in a warm place. What would be classified as a warm place? honestly. He doesn't have a stove in his kitchen for some reason. That's the only thing I could think of as being a warm place. No TV. Unless you want to stab the TV. Nothing up here. Bookshelf, wallet. I feel like there has to be a reason to go into the bathroom. The quiet in that room unnerved me terribly. The old claw-footed bathtub hadn't been cleaned nearly enough. Still, it would probably do. If I wanted to, I could use that knife and finally end this. Question is, did I think I deserved this? Did I? Is it my fault? Yeah, if I'm gonna be honest, yeah. I'm pretty sure you're the one who killed your wife. If not, you killed your friend. That being said, I think the guy that was killed in the house that you woke up in, I think you figured out somehow he was a murderer. Living in this town hadn't been easy. The plant had helped in some way to stay grounded. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I had started sleepwalking and disappearing for hours at a time. I had MRIs and piles of doctor's reports, but nothing had seemed to help, not even drinking. But I swear, I tried to give it up. I know it. The sleepwalking never really went away, though. But I know Rachel had tried. I know she had tried to be there for me, even when everything was falling apart. This night had unearthed terrible truths, but I knew the final act of a long-standing horror I had been living. Waking up in that house tonight was the final cruelty. I wish I had remained unconscious in that room forever. It was obvious to me that the man I had found in the house had something to do with all this. Could he have killed Rachel? It started to seem like there were too many things I had seen to think otherwise. After making it out of the house tunnels, I thought those sewers might feel safer. I was wrong. The security tape I had watched showed someone being attacked by what looked like two people. But who was it that was attacked? With Rachel gone, the implications of what had happened that night were starting to gnaw at me. Someone had clearly taken my wallet. It wasn't me in the woods or at Norman's. But who could have done so? And why drop my things all over the place? Was someone trying to incriminate me? Even more troubling were those poor girls I had found in those terrible woods. Half hidden in shallow grave, their secret deaths seemed like the ultimate defiling. If I hadn't found them, would anyone have done so? Would they have even been missed? I vaguely recalled the desk I had seen in those tunnels, the names etched there. Someone had killed those girls. Was it that man? It was clear, at least, that Norman had been going back to the old plant. Maybe he was the one who had boarded up that locker room. Who had been drinking up there, in that secret hiding place? So had he killed that guard then? He must have. Maybe he was found out, or the guard had caught him on patrol. Damn it, Norman, why? After the factory, I thought I might find some solace if I could just go to Norman's store. But all I had found were more horrors, more questions. Now that I really consider it, that's when I should have seen it coming. Norman, what were you and Rachel up to? It was obvious things were more complicated than I could ever imagine. How long had you been going behind my back? More importantly, why, Norman? Whoever killed Rachel had probably gone after you too. Maybe they knew about what you were up to. I would never know peace. I would never know peace, Norman. But despite your transgressions, part of me really did hope that you would. When I had marched through the rain towards home, I desperately clung to the hope that this would end. And I guess, in a way, it did. But how could I have known how hopeless it all was? I started to feel disoriented, as when I sleepwalked. To think of it now, I guess I should have known from the terrible silence that greeted me when I first stepped into our house and stood there in the kitchen. There was no sound of the television, radio, even the air was still. But seeing Rachel there, lying, ruined, and discarded in the basement, that was a horror I could never imagine. I didn't know if I'd ever find the answers I craved, but I knew that somehow that other man I had found was responsible for this. If not directly, he must have had a hand in Rachel's death. So what was I doing in that damned house of his? Had I found out? Had I killed him? My damned condition made it difficult to know. Memories and time frames were always a mess. I could never be sure. Knowing that man was dead, though, was cold comfort. My wife was gone, and no matter what happened to me now, I was lost forever. I put the knife down and drew a long, warm bath. Slipping into the tub, I was surprised with how calm it felt. I heard it was like going to sleep if you did it right. I held my arms under the water and made incisions. Though the initial sting came across as a shock, it was only a matter of minutes before I felt myself ebb and fade. After that, the room washed to common comfort shade of gray. Jesus. And credits. A warm place. End your story in the bathroom. Thank you, Chivo. Man, this was a long game. At least I could finish it all in one playthrough. But I'm pretty sure I fucked up a lot. What I really think happened was he ended up working with that serial killer, and they both committed some murders. Because that security tape said 2 people had killed a man. And if 2 people did it, I want to believe that... Eesh, home is dedicated to my wife Nancy, watch your back. Eesh. I want to believe that they worked together and they each killed somebody. He didn't kill Norman, but he killed his wife. And... yeah, there's kills shared amongst the 2. Anyway, this has been Home. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope to see you in the next one. Later.